Scout ship setting.
Good at beating up the weak It's over, right? Good at beating up the weak ones. Just how does this sword work?
Don't touch it. You'll hurt yourself.
In other words, the rest of her is fair game.
Not unless you really want to get hurt.
We can do this!
Victory is ours.
We can do this! Well, that about does it. We can do this!
We're finished here. Let's go. I'll finish this now.
about you.
I'll finish this now.
We won, right?
I'll finish this quick.
I'll stop you!
One down.
Well, that about does it. We can do this.
They were nothing.
We can do this.
Down! Down!
Shooting star! Hurricane! Armor crusher! Pull forward!
Stop fooling around.
We can do this.
Slow down! Hurricane! No escape! Come! Hurricane!
No escape.
See this? See this? Stay away!
Yes, I know. I'm in.
I'll finish this now.
Hey, is everyone all right? We can do this!
You won't get any pity or compassion from me.
I'm extra good at beating up the weak ones! Its guardian was angry at it. Hold on. You can read a guardian's heart? Yeah, sort of.
I'll finish this quickly.
Ready to feel the burn? Yes, I know. I'm incredible. What's wrong?
An enemy.
That sword. Is that Stormquell?
A demon wielding a foreign-made sword. You must be the sword breaker.
Not much for conversation, are you?
Silence, they say, is only the root of it.
No mercy! No escape! No escape!
Now, rise! Arise! Ascending angels!
He's still moving.
I'll take this one. Come and get me!
Done!
Good, a challenge!
Look out!
Don't interfere!
What do you think you're doing?
Touch me and I'll kill you.
Sorry. I just got a little riled up.
Do you know that demon?
No, but I know his sword. A blade called Stormquell.
Stormquell.
Whatever. It doesn't have anything to do with us. Let's just get to the port already.
I'm extra good at beating up the weak spots. And another one down.
I'll cut down anyone in my way!
We can do this. Roll down.
I unleashed all my power. Maybe I overdid it. Laphicet, I'm sorry about what happened back there.
I thought he was going to kill you.
Yeah, I know. You were just doing what you thought was right.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's good then. I didn't give you a clear enough warning to stay out of it. If it ever happens again, I'll give you a proper warning.
You really don't want me to help you? Even if your life is at risk?
Yup.
Why?
Actually, I'm not too sure myself.
Huh?
There's somebody out there I need to defeat by my own hand. I want to strike him down. I want to triumph against him. But to do that, I need to be a better swordsman.
Someone you have to defeat.
In a sword fight, yeah. And I'll do anything to ensure I come out on top in the end. No matter how much it costs me. Life, limb, hell, even my heart and soul, I'll pay it. Those feelings have been so central to me for so long. I lost my dang humanity somewhere along the way.
Why do you need to win that badly?
To be honest, beats me. Maybe it has to do with me being a demon. Or maybe that's why I became one. Either way, it's more important to me than life itself.
More important than life.
But still, I owe you for saving me back there. There's no victory pose in store for me if I'm dead.
Okay.
Is that how you thank someone for saving your life?
Huh? I'm just being honest with the little guy. And no offense and all, but why do you care?
You don't even think it disrespectful? You truly are a demon.
Yep. Big old demon.
I'm extra good at beating up the weak ones.
Pull forward! Hurricane! Hold up! See this? Gave way! Hold up!
I unleashed all my power. Maybe I overdid it.
Scout ship settings.
Now why does that name sound so familiar?
Hey, Eleanor? Thanks for stepping in earlier.
Think nothing of it. My orders are to protect you, so I did.
Oh, I see.
Of course, orders or no orders, I'd save anyone under threat from a demon. Well, how noble.
Oh, I got it!
Got what?
The tragic tale of the sword Stormquell. Gather round and listen, oh grimy travelers. Once, centuries past, there was a sword renowned the world over for its peerlessly sharp edge, its forger shrouded in mystery. So mighty was each swing of the sword, it produced howling winds that could level mountains. No other sword could match its power. The people, in their superstition, began to call it the Godblade.
This Godblade, is it Stormquell?
Shush! The tale is merely beginning. Now, there was one man who was truly enamored with the Godblade. His name was Kurogane, a blacksmith of wondrous talent. His heart was set on forging an even greater sword, and he had a name in mind for this sword. Stormquell, the sword to conquer the Godblade's roaring winds.
And did he make it?
Kurogane forged scores of challengers to the Godblade, but each would-be Stormquell was shattered by the implacable howling wind. Some say the wielder of the Godblade chopped off his head. Others say he took his own life. The truth is lost to the dusty cobwebs of history. But perhaps he, and his grudge towards the Godblade, somehow yet live.
A grudge that spans centuries. You hear tall tales like this all the time. That sword and its inscription we saw were probably just inspired by the legend.
Perhaps. But if that's the real Stormquell, we should all sleep with one eye open tonight.
What makes you say that?
Because that Godblade Kurogane wanted so desperately to top has been passed down through my family for generations. Its name is Stormhowl.
In other words, we could well bump into your armored friend again. Let's hurry it up.
I'll finish this quickly.
Shooting star! Nope.
You won't get any pity or compassion from me.
On to battle!
Your style is really unique.
Always ready to fight.
We won, right? Right?
Always ready to fight.
Slow down!
They were nothing. Listen, Laphicet.
What is it?
You can't trust her just because she said she'd protect you, orders or no orders. Remember, Malakim are just tools to exorcists.
But she really did protect me.
I know you feel you owe her for that, but do you have to look so happy about it?
Sorry.
I'm not asking for an apology. I just want her to know that we've all got an eye on her. No matter how close you two get, I want her to understand that I come first.
So, what do you want me to do?
Let's see. To put it simply, I'm number 1, and Eleanor is number 2. Got it?
I get it. You're number 1, and Eleanor is number 2.
Right. I'm number 1. Wait, this is kind of stupid, isn't it?
It's alright. I understand.
That's not what I mean.
Don't get overconfident.
Try as they might, it won't change anything.
Don't get overconfident. You're fit.
Better watch your step!
Deception!
Wow, all sorts of things popped out! Yep, it's a whimsical wonderland over here.
A candle? What's that doing here?
Oh, I think these were used to keep robbers away, like wards around old kings' tombs. I've read about this. There's a trick to the stone. It reacts to heat.
Heat, huh? Then there's only one thing to do.
No.
Well, if you aren't the craziest demon, your body's harder than your own sword.
Who's this?
That's Lord Shigure, one of the only two-legged exorcists in the entire abbey.
A legate. Same as Melchior.
Eleanor, fancy meeting you here. What the hell happened to you? You get captured by a demon? Or are you a turncoat?
I'm...
Don't matter. I do my own thing. I got no standing to tell you how to live. Still, today's my lucky day. Never thought I'd encounter the one and only Stormquell.
Shigure, I think someone over there wants your attention. He looks lonely.
You're right, I'm being a jerk. Just can't pass up the chance to tease my little brother. Can I, Rokuro?
Your brother?
You haven't changed a bit, Shigure.
You go blind, dumbass? I'm bucket load stronger now. You're the one who hasn't changed, I bet. You still hung up on trying to take me down?
The one you want to beat in a fight? That's him?
I'm not who I was that day either, brother.
Oh, wait. You're a demon? Ha! Now it's getting good. But I wonder, has that really changed anything? When my real storm howl breaks your sad reject again, you gonna piss yourself like last time?
I'll handle him. Laffy said, no matter what, I need you to stay out of it.
All right.
It's been too long since we crossed swords, brother.
Shut up! You're dead! I'll make you regret sparing my life last time! Now it's you!
You're feisty as a demon. I like it. But alas, I think our fight's over.
Rokuro! What? My body!
I said stay out of this! We're just getting started here!
Oh? No backing down for you this time, huh? But we're done for today.
Shigure!
Oh, calm down, Rokuro. We could have a real fight sometime if you actually brought a decent sword. Go ask that old bastard there to make you one. I'll be waiting.
Who?
That demon in the armor, Kuragane.
The blacksmith from the story.
I'll be waiting for you at Port Cadnix. Unless you can beat me, you ain't getting off this island.
Who are you to decide that?
You got a problem with it, lady? Best of luck, you demons. You'll need it.
Lord Shigure, sir! I'm on a high-level mission.
Eleanor, babe, I get it. You've gone rogue. Have fun with that. I see you again. I'll kill you.
He wasn't even trying yet. You can tell.
But if we all fight him together...
That won't work. But there is another way.
What are you talking about? What way?
Follow me.
Rogoro! Velvet, aren't we going after him?
This is his fight. It has nothing to do with me.
But Shigure said he'd be waiting at the port. He may be a nutball, but I don't think he's fool enough to let us slip past.
Exactly. And as a swordsman, he's even more skilled than Artorias, and that's saying something.
We're mice with our tails pinned, and the cat's licking his lips.
At the very least, Kurogane seems to have some kind of plan.
Fine. We'll hear what he has to say. What was that fat cat creature with Shigure?
You mean Morgrim? She's a Moloch. She just looks different.
And?
And what? She has all the abilities of a Moloch. I'm not trying to keep anything from you. All I know is her name and that she's a Moloch.
Huh.
Lord Shigure is an exorcist legate, but he's also a warrior who can match exorcists or demons even without the use of Moloch arts. Since no one has ever seen Shigure use an art, Morgrim is considered one of the 7 wonders of the Abbey.
The 7 wonders of the Abbey.
No one knows Morgrim's capabilities, or even the details of Shigure's pact with her.
No one! Except me, that is!
Huh?
This is all highly classified, but Morgrim is incredibly lazy. The price she demanded of Shigure for making a pact with her was grooming and defleeing.
Anything else?
Oh, and on a point of sensitivity, she's chubby, not fat. She may be our enemy, but she's also a woman. You should try not to hurt each other's feelings.
Anything else?
Her thick eyebrows are all the rage with Malakim, so much so that false eyebrows are expected to be the next big thing.
Well, if he's that strong without Moloch arts, I don't want to see what he's like with them.
Scout ship set. You want me in? Fine by me. We can't best Shigure without a strategy. We should ask Rokuro what he knows about him.
What were you thinking, Eleanor? Attacking a legate like that?
Well... I just thought Rokuro was going to die if I didn't intervene.
Oh? You'd kill one of your own allies for a demon?
I acted without thinking. Sometimes I'm too soft-hearted to a fault.
I'd say it's less that, and more just stupidity. You're supposed to be protecting Laphicet. Don't get yourself into trouble you don't need.
Even if one of her own is in danger?
Even then.
This kid must be really important to her. All right, I understand.
Laphicet, next time she acts up, stop her. Understand? We don't know what she's got up her sleeve.
Okay. Thanks for not telling on me, Eleanor. And I'm sorry I hijacked your body.
I understand how it feels to want to protect your friends. The problem's with those demons, not you.
But I think Velvet has the capacity to feel the same way too. At least when it comes to her brother.
Is that why you're staying with her?
I'm not sure. It's hard to say.
I have to figure out what's going on with this group, if I ever hope to wrest the child from them.
all those swords?
That's what happens when the legendary blacksmith Kurogane toils so hard, he forgets to die.
I gave up everything, thinking of nothing else but forging a sword that could surpass Stormhowl. And before I knew it...
You had traded your humanity for demonhood.
I see I'm not the only one. So great was your grudge against your brother, the inheritor of Stormhowl.
Well, guess we're not so different. You don't suppose you could hammer me up a new sword, do you?
I've forged countless blades over these long years, yet not one has proven a match for Stormhowl. And yet you still seek a Kurogane sword?
I'll put it like this. No matter how much you've failed across the centuries, you've never broken. Well, I'm the same way. If anything can break Shigure and his god blade, it's the bitterness I carry.
Strangely enough, seeing you and your brother has given me an idea that might work. I will forge you a new blade.
Should we get some Brightstone?
Nope. No need for that.
Huh?
Should I take it from the top?
If you would. My arms are all I'll be needing.
What are you doing?
Don't be alarmed. I'm just cutting free some raw materials for the sword.
You see something new every day.
You need his head to make the sword?
That's right. With this fine clump of pure resentment, I shall forge your imitation Stormhowl anew.
No. I only keep this imitation as a reminder of how weak-willed I was in the past. To defeat Shigure, I've perfected the art of dual wielding, a secret Rangetsu technique.
All right. If that's what you prefer, a pair of short swords it is.
Whoa!
We'll wait outside.
I made Bienfu rush out to the docks to scout the place out. Pretty smart, am I right?
I pity that creature sometimes.
That Kurogane, though, what a character! Giving his own body to forge a sword, like some kind of ritual sacrifice.
Ritual sacrifice. It's certainly something only a demon would do. It was a necessary sacrifice in order to gain power.
A necessary sacrifice. What a vicious turn of phrase.
Indeed.
Still, I can't say I'm not thrilled to see how it all turns out. If what you give is mere meat for a god's morbid lunch, could there be a more trivial sacrifice? But if the offering is one's own body and soul, even a single hair can be portentous. I wonder which he will have been in the end.
Rokuro, Kurogane, I just do not understand them.
You saw them. Demons. We're crazy.
Sure, but they go through life with such crystal clear sense of purpose.
Even demons have things they're not willing to let go. Or do you think us mere animals, running around killing people left and right?
I know. I understand demons still have a certain consciousness, but I look at those two and they seem passionate, like normal people.
Well, I've yet to meet a human so passionate he'd chop his own head off.
Do you have a purpose like they do?
I do, in fact. Ever since Artorius used my brother as a sacrifice.
Typical demon nonsense. The Abbey exists to protect the people. Yes, sometimes cold, painful decisions need to be made to protect the many, but they'd never stoop to human sacrifice. Besides, as shepherd, Artorius will cleanse the world of...
If that's what you think, Ask the precious shepherd yourself. Ask him just what he did 3 years ago.
He wouldn't. He'd never.
Rokuro wants to slay his brother, even if it kills him. And Kurogane had his own head lopped off just to forge powerful swords. How do those two find it in themselves to go so far?
It's just how they are. They're demons. Not exactly normal.
Yeah, it's scary. But I also kinda admire it. But me, I don't have anything I'm that desperate to accomplish.
Not yet, you mean. In time, you'll find something.
You really think so?
Almost certainly. But don't feel you have to go and risk your life over it. You're not a demon, and you should stay that way. You deserve a normal life.
Okay.
But never mind. Just the foolish ramblings of a demon girl.
The ship is on its way, right on schedule.
Of course it is. They don't have the Reaper on board.
One more thing. Apparently, Shigure is Artorias' bodyguard.
So we'll have to face him down sometime, no matter what.
It's in our best interest to get rid of him while he's working alone. The problem is, Rokuro can't beat him by himself.
Agreed. Shigure is not to be trifled with.
Certainly. That's why, when Rokuro creates an opening, we're going to take Shigure out.
You want us to meddle in somebody else's private quarrel?
If it affects my own quarrel, yes.
I suppose I'm in the same position. Besides, I can still use him. There's no sense in throwing his life away.
Rokuro's not really a guy to care about the big picture. He might try to hack your limbs off a bit, but he'll get over it.
Bad news! A group of praetors have left the docks and are headed this way! They said they were coming to purge Eleanor the traitor!
Purge?
Velvet, what do we do?
We take them head on. And you're fighting with us, Eleanor.
An order, I presume.
It is. Protect Laphicet and defeat the exorcists.
All right. I understand.
Just remember, if we lose Eleanor, Laphicet will turn into a demon.
I haven't forgotten. But we need to pool all the resources we have. She needs us for her own ends, and we'll use that to our advantage in this fight.
Just don't push your luck too far, Velvet.
And so recently was she a noble, upstanding young exorcist. How quickly one falls when entering Velvet's dark orbit.
Ask me if I care.
If I'm in this,
Traitor Eleanor! You should be ashamed of yourself, cowering to demons.
Your collusion could spell disaster to the Abbey if left unchecked. The only possible atonement is your death.
No mercy!
You've betrayed the people and sullied Artorias' ideals.
No, that's not... Velvet, she's testing me. I know I have to fight. My mission calls for it. But any more of this will kill them.
Time for you to die and be purged!
Eleanor!
I can't do it. I can't kill them.
I'm not done yet.
There. Now we're even, Eleanor.
You've got new swords! Sinister. I like it.
I take it you're ready.
Yeah. All that's left is to kill Shigure.
With me as a witness.
I...
Keep on fighting like that, and you'll be killed. And if you get killed, Laphicet will lose his vessel.
I know that.
Velvet, wait.
You're not going to kill them?
I'm just not that hungry right now. I've got new orders for you. Fight the exorcists, but make sure they don't die.
Understood.
I guess that was as far as Eleanor could go.
I think so. Push her any further and she's bound to break.
Ever the virtuous exorcist.
That very virtue is what lets her be Laphicet's vessel. Besides, I can't help but admire her commitment. She's enduring total disgrace to accomplish her mission.
How uncommonly pleasant of you.
Pleasant folks don't use people the way we do.
Yeah, you've got that right.
Time to dish out spanking! Won't this work? Gaze upon my fiery Slow down! Better watch this!
refuse to fall here!
Leave the fighting to me.
Hey, Bienfu? I was wondering if I could talk to you about something that's on my mind.
I figured it was just about the time that you and I had the talk, actually. I've seen it all, heard it all, and even tasted it all in my time as a Moloch. Ask me anything you want.
Thanks. I was hoping you could let me borrow those books you were reading earlier, if that's okay.
You mean how to talk a human female into becoming your vessel, and how to get the cuties?
Hey! Keep it down! Keep it down!
But you and Madame Eleanor have already formed a pact. Why do you still need either of those books?
Well, it's like when we're alone together, things get so awkward. It's hard to talk with her, you know?
That happens a lot with Molocheman vessels who are still new to the whole thing. I've been there. In that case, I've got an even better book for you.
Whoa! You read a lot of books.
I'm just an avid learner is all. Now let's see. Oh, here we go. Hot Spring Topics, Bearing Your Body and Your Soul. Being upfront and honest is always the best policy.
I don't think we'll be bathing in any hot springs together. Do you have anything else?
All right, then how about after-bath party games, dropping your defenses and your towels?
Why do you keep trying to get us naked? I think that would just make things even more awkward.
Picky. Tell you what, you can just look at my collection and pick whatever sounds good.
Love hacking, living long and loving hard, Diary of a Diary Thief, Hands Speak Louder Than Words.
All classics. I remember reading them when Miss Magilu and I were struggling to get along. Oh, to be young again.
You ever think maybe things would have been easier if you never read these books?
Reading the mood, knowing what to say and how to say it. That one's a winner. A must-read for sure.
Are you two reading something together?
We are. Laffysette's been worried about that awkward distance between you two, and he came to me for some advice. I've heard his side of the story, so let's you and I grab some tea and talk about what to do about it. Come on! Let's go!
Oh, okay.
Knowing what to say and how to say it. I don't think this will help either.
Scout ship setting sail.
Let's do our best!
Come on, really?
Hey, Rokuro. Why did he call your storm howl a reject?
Well, you see, when blacksmiths make swords, they don't just make one at a time. They make a whole bunch. The best one of them all is the one that gets presented to the sword's commissioner, while the rest are tossed aside.
Huh. I didn't realize the standards were so high.
The head of my clan gets the real storm howl, and his siblings get the remainders.
So one is real, and the others are imitations?
I guess so. Shigure has the real one, and... yeah, guess that makes mine an imitation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to imply...
Don't apologize. You got me to finally realize something. It might just be why I'm so hung up on beating him.
Oh.
And to Velvet, which Laphicet is real, and which is the imitation?
Oh, what are you saying?
She means my name. It's the same as Velvet's brothers.
Huh? The one who went and got sacrificed by Artorias.
Surely you are mistaken. Our shepherd would never do such a thing.
But what else could make Velvet hate Artorias so much?
I don't...
So you have a truth, and Velvet has a truth. Now which is the real one, and which is the imitation?
I'll end this quickly.
Try as they might, it won't change anything.
You and Shigure both use the Rangetsu style. But to me it looked like you both fight completely differently. Why is that?
Our school encompasses two distinct forms. To the outside world, we're known for fighting with a single greatsword. But we also study dual short swords should need arise.
So, Shigure uses the greatsword, and you use the short.
In most schools, wouldn't the secondary technique be used primarily in support of the first?
That's true for us as well. We learn the dual short swords to provide sparring partners for those studying the greatsword.
Then why would you handicap yourself against Lord Shigure? He's no mere swordsman.
As I'm painfully aware, Shigure is a true master. We trained together since we were small children. I was his sparring partner for 10 years. His skill with the greatsword is godlike. So, in order to beat him, I took up the short blades. To our school, it might be secondary, but it's what I know best.
You're badly disadvantaged in reach.
If I eliminate my fear, I have a chance. If I can control the terror of being split in half and I can step inside his guard, he'll have 2 times the trouble.
Eliminating fear, huh? A style for someone who's lost his humanity.
Right?
It's like you two brothers are the very swords you carry.
Huh?
Stormhowl, a godlike sword known to all as the strongest there ever was. Stormquell, burdened by the ceaseless struggle to best the other. One, an exorcist who walks in the light. One, a demon moving through the shadows. The only thing these two polar opposites want
is to cut down the other.
Precisely!
Both are renowned blades. But I don't see what exorcists and demons have to do with it.
There they are.
Which must mean they took out every one of the exorcists who went after them.
Hey, I told them not to bother. Now how did that sword of yours turn out? Fine, I'll find out myself.
Rokuro, we can handle the exorcists. Go and find your victory.
Thanks.
All right, let's get down to business. Not bad. You better not die too quickly on me. I want this to be fun. Come on, bro. Don't hold back. Shut up. Don't play games with me.
No mercy!
Not bad. looking sword you got there.
Take a good look, because they're going to cut.
You down. Yeah, that's right. Get into. Keep it up! I love it! Killing Flash!
But I'm this close, I won't miss!
Form Zero! I don't even need to dodge. It'll be the same every time.
Armor crush!
Ears! Better watch your step! Ready to feel the burn?
But I'm not done yet! You put up a good fight, I'll give you that. But you're a frickin' demon. Shouldn't you bring more to the table than pretty damn good Rangetsu style? You don't have what it takes to win against the rightful heir.
Don't count me out. Just yet! I've got something to show you! Take this!
Now that was clever! Giving up one of your own hands to go for my neck. If I was just a second slower, I'd be dead now. I like it. This is what I've been looking for. All right, let's call it good here. Listen up! If y'all want any hope of beating me, come find me once you're more skilled and better armed.
I'll cut you down. No matter how many times I lose. No matter how many years it takes.
There we go. That's the face I'm looking for. So vicious. It's perfect.
What is wrong with him?
Shouldn't you be worrying more about your own skin? The entire Abbey knows by now that you're a traitor.
That guy, he was really strong.
Yeah, he was. They all are.
But we will beat him if we must. No matter what it takes.
The Von Eltius here.
Let's get going.
Please, take me with you. I'll make a sword that surpasses Stormhowl yet. I know I will. But for another blade to beat Stormhowl, its wielder must be a swordsman of unmatched skill.
Hey, Eisen. Got any room on this pile of wood scrap for a suit of armor?
If not, make someone wear it.
Works for me. You heard him, Kurogane.
Many thanks.
Okay, we're off to find Grimoire and decipher the book. You know where we're going, right, kiddo?
Yeah. We're headed for the Isolde Archipelago in Southgand.
Velvet's demon hand. It's such a mysterious weapon. I can only imagine how much of a threat it will become to the Abbey. This calls for a clear-headed breakdown of everything I know about it so far. It changes shape in a flash and could devour most anything. How must that feel, to devour something with your hand like that? But it doesn't devour the bandages that cover it up. Maybe they're protected with some sort of special art? Likewise, the rest of her outfit can't be ignored. One would think she wouldn't want to wear such ragged clothing, yet she clearly has no inclination of buying something new. I suppose that could be taken to mean she has some sort of attachment to it. But that top is really big for her. Like it was made for a man. Maybe she wears that outfit in memory of someone important to her. I'd better not touch it then. I know I may not look it, but I really am good at sewing. Maybe I should suggest mending her clothes rather than outright replacing them. On the other hand, that fabric looks like it would be hard to push a needle through. I could be in over my head. But the tougher the fight, the more I get fired up. Of course, Lord Artorias would probably scold me if he heard me talking like that.
Who'd scold you for what now?
Oh, well, I was thinking about sewing. I mean, your clothes, they're all beat up, and I thought that if I offered to mend them for you, you'd probably scold me. Wouldn't you?
You'd mend my clothes? Have they been worrying you that much?
I mean, not like constantly or anything. It just crosses my mind from time to time.
Are you good at it?
Yes. I'm told I come across as awkward sometimes, but if nothing else, I'm good with my hands.
I see. All right, if I ever need it done, I'll come to you.
Good, just leave it to me.
Are you feeling all right? You're really sweating. The heat and the cold doesn't bother me at all, but you're a human, so you need to take care of yourself. And if you keep soaking in your own sweat, you'll catch a cold. Besides, I don't imagine it feels that great. You should keep washing and bathing on your own schedule, like however you did before falling in with us. Just let me know and I'll make it work. Because the guys aren't considerate enough to stop and ask you if you need to.
Sure. All right. Thanks. That was a surprisingly normal thing for her to say. I probably shouldn't bother with her clothes for now. We girls have to be considerate of each other.
So, you guys made it. Whatever happened to that sword breaker?
He's been dealt with.
What are you doing here?
After everything you said to me, I had a change of heart. I quit banditry. Thank you.
I'm glad you listened to reason. What do you plan on doing from here on out?
I'm heading to the capital. I plan on opening a restaurant for bandit cuisine.
Bandit cuisine?
Yeah. You get your hands on all sorts of food as a bandit. You gotta use what you have, and still make a tasty meal. Like a wild mushroom omelet minus the eggs. Or highwayman stew. It's like a hunter's stew, but, you know, made by bandits.
That sounds somewhat improper, actually. But I'd still love to visit after you open.
Really? All right. I'll be an upright citizen in no time. Maybe even the kind of man you'd consider spending some time with.
I'm rooting for you.
Hey, were you actually listening to him?
Of course I was. It's wonderful he's turned over a new leaf.
Did you need something?
No, not really.
As you say.
Why aren't you training with 2 swords?
This is how I've always trained. 10,000 practice swings a day since I was a kid. I just wanted a single good swipe at Shigure. So I swung, and eventually just naturally got to this point.
That's incredible.
Not really. I need to be prepared to face Shigure at any moment. But I've been thinking I should up it to 100,000 swings.
100,000? Do you have any idea how much time that'll take?
Nah.
Even if you did 1 swing a second, you couldn't do that many in 1 day.
Oh? But 10 swings a second would do the trick.
Rokuro.
Even still, I know it would take more than 100,000 swings to be a match for Shigure. Not with 1 sword or with 2.
And you keep doing it despite knowing it's pointless? That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to defeat an undefeatable adversary. The whole damned idea is daft, as you put it. All I can do is recognize the fact and give it my best shot.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
If only I could figure out how to stay up all night and still feel rested. Now there's a challenge I can't beat.
You need to go to bed. A lack of sleep will get you killed faster than a lack of practice.
You're right. I'll do that.
Hey, you there. That's one impressive sword you got.
You know a lot about swords?
I'm a novice swordsmith. Been at it for 20 years. Now, I'm finally able to make a blade worthy of the name.
20 years? And still just a novice?
It's a competitive world out there for a swordsmith, especially here on this island.
But I heard many swordsmiths have given up. There's less ore around nowadays, and swords don't work against the demons.
True, swords are useless against demons. Unless it's an exorcist that's using them. Kadnik's weaponry has always been prized in Midgant. The Abbey recognized our talents, and now, business is booming. All the smiths here are grateful to the Abbey. They're keeping all of us alive and fed.
This recipe...
Scout...
Eisen, I thought you were supposed to be in Midgand. How did you end up here in Islegand? I thought I'd gotten used to you performing the impossible, but this time, I'm at a loss for words. We heard from the Bloodwings that the Abbey might have taken you guys out.
Not this time, but our luck won't last forever. Think of this as a dry run for when I really kick the bucket.
Aye, aye, First Mate. More importantly, are you sure it's okay to bring an exorcist aboard?
I've got my eye on her. If she does anything funny, I'll handle it.
Got it! We'll be on our guard, too.
Here I come!
Woman Cycle! Slow down!
You won't get away!
Next!
Come on, really?
Here I come!
Next! Slow down!
Is that all you got?
Woman Cycle! Clear off! Slow down!
Come on, really?
Here I come!
That's it! Got you! Clear off! That's it! Got you! Next! Next! Got you!
Come on, really?